One. Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Not Enough Thumbs. Talking about patriotic films. Da, 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 da.
And a few extras that maybe don't fit patriotic so much. I'm finding patriotic is kind of hard, especially hard to find movies that we can watch with everyone. Like
Yeah.
Most of them have bad language or really gory or whatever the case may be. So
Today's sponsor is Me Want Cookie. Nah.
so I'm not going to eat it in front of you. Like yes.
It is soft.
Oh my word. Okay, so your head is not even in the frame. So our first movie is Rocky IV from 1985. So this is, I guess, would be considered a patriotic movie. He wraps himself in the flag.
And it's
Other than that, I don't know how it fits.
the Soviet Union versus Russia. Big deal. That's how a lot of people see it.
Battle of the Two Nations.
Yeah, East versus West. So I think the theme is there.
All right, so if you know anything about the Rocky franchise, it's basically this big dude. He's not necessarily the smartest guy, but man, he can fight.
He has what you call a relaxed brain.
That's what he calls it in the movie.
It has got so many good lines. I first got this, was introduced to this movie with the VHS set of Rocky 1 through 5 given by my cousin when I was a teenager, and then just fell in love with the movies. Rocky's I think he put it best. He has a relaxed brain. There's no other way to put it. He had street smarts. He wasn't very academically smart. I don't know if he had a high school diploma even, because he had trouble getting a job.
Yeah.
When he, retired for the first of 10 times that he retired.
But he got the girl.
Got the girl that matched. Another thing that he said is that we fill gaps.
Yeah.
She fills his gaps and vice versa. So by the fourth movie, he's a little bit more coherent. He's
surprisingly, considering what he does.
Yeah, just gets his brain beat
bashed
out
in all the time.
Yeah. So he's got the money now. Their family's pretty well off, and unfortunately, his friend Apollo, who he lost in the first, but went the full distance. It was a split decision kind of match. That's another story. And then the second time he defeated Apollo. The third time, Apollo was his coach. So now they're, best friends by this fourth movie. And he dies. If he dies, he dies. Well, he did. So
because he wasn't smart. He refused to stop.
He was stubborn.
He needed to stop and
didn't come to the realization that he's not the same as he was in his youth, although these guys are still stacked.
Well, I mean, he was fighting against a steroid-pumped guy. So he was pumped up with illegal drugs. So, of course, that's going to give him an advantage over someone who is fighting legitimately.
Uh-oh.
And there's the rest of Me Want Cookies coming out of the oven. So anyway, Rocky's a good series. If you haven't watched the Rocky movies, there are 6 of them, correct? I think.
Yes.
Yeah, it goes Rocky 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then Rocky Balboa is the 6th one, and that is where Stallone looks very aged in Rocky Balboa. He definitely looks well seasoned in his years in that movie, but still a tough dude. I mean, that dude is one tough guy. So
he made the young guy go the distance in the last movie.
Yeah, he did. He pushed him the way he pushed himself. So that was kind of fun to watch him do that with that kid. But All right. So what do you rate Rocky 4?
What?
Not all the Rockies, just Rocky 4.
This Rocky 4?
I give it an 8. I think Stallone or the Rocky Balboa was my favorite one, the last one.
That is probably
And I
my
would
favorite
probably give
one.
that one a higher rating. But
too.
this one I rate an 8.
This one I give a 9, and generally speaking, is probably the most popular of all the Rocky movies because it's got Dolph Lundgren in it, and it was just a good one.
I just think that the Russian acting was not great.
He's a man of little words.
He's not a great actor.
Yeah.
Just not. And it didn't impress me. It kind of irritated me actually. So that's what knocked it down for me. Okay. The next one is Hacksaw Ridge from 2016. So I was in and out of consciousness.
Wow,
for
2016.
2016.
Didn't realize it's that old.
Yeah. So I fell asleep a couple times in this one.
And it's a movie that neither of us have seen. Some of these movies we have seen, and it's probably just been a really long time. So Hacksaw Ridge focuses is based on the true story of this guy. We're at war with Japan, and there is this guy. By his convictions, I think he claimed that he was a. Actually, I'm not sure if his religion had anything to do with it, but a traumatic experience.
He was a Seventh-day Adventist, and so he claimed that his religion did not allow him to carry a weapon.
And he had this traumatic experience where he dealt with his dad, who was a drunk, and the gun was fired inside the house when they were in a scuffle, he and his dad,
because the dad was pointing it at his mother.
Yeah. So there's that, and I heard this term for the first time when the commanding officer referred to him. I wish I remembered his name. Referred to him as a CO, a conscientious objector.
Yeah.
Never heard that term before.
So, of course, he looked it up, and it's a real thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's an actual thing. So you object to some sort of violence, right?
Because of your religion.
Yeah.
So it's an expression of that freedom, and so they're bound by the military is bound by that law to adhere to that.
But apparently your fellow comrades are not. They beat him up several times because they didn't like that he was getting out of things that they had to do because of his convictions.
Anything to deal with the gun. So they beat him up in the middle of the night. They just made things extra difficult for him, including the drill sergeant and higher up.
The one thing I have a problem with how it connects is when he was young, he and his brother got in that fight. Mm-hmm. And he hit his brother with a brick. How does that connect in any way to this story overall?
Oh, that's a good point.
I don't see how it maybe just showing a string of violence in his family, but I don't understand how that connects in any way.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how that ties with the rest of the story. The pistol incident inside the house with his dad.
He was older.
Did, and that is when he was older.
Yeah.
Yeah, the brick to the head with his brother, they were getting into a scuffle. The dad was letting it go on, and then all of a sudden he picks up this gigantic concrete brick and
whacks
hits him over the head. I mean,
so it shows his brother unconscious, and you think the kid's dead.
Yeah,
they said he didn't die, but you never see him again in the movie.
Yeah, I was about to ask you that. Did we see him anymore?
No.
So that was.
So I wonder if he did die. I don't. Who knows? I guess you leave it to your imagination what happens, but I can't imagine that he lived through that.
So
it was bad.
As the movie unfolded, his dad he was a well-known soldier as well, and came back with some honors. I don't know what you would call them. And he wrote a letter to somebody even higher up saying that hey, kind of maybe owe me a favor after everything that I've done, because he came in on his son's court-martial day. Anyway, he got a pass and he got to go fight, which is what he wanted to go do. He
didn't want to fight. He wanted to be on the battlefield.
he wanted to serve. He wanted to serve
to help the wounded
in the medicinal capacity.
Yeah. So he got to, and it was quite a story of what he was able to accomplish without using any violence. He was able to kind of help his comrades get out of harm's way. Those that were injured, he helped them get to safety in some of the most interesting ways.
And it's called Hacksaw Ridge because it refers to a landmark that they had to pass, which is where the bruit of the fight was happening. And it was this netted ladder, a rope ladder. That's, I don't know, it's probably 5 or 6 stories high. It looked like it was tall. Yeah. And so they had to, climb this, and then it's a brutal battle on the other side once they get up there. But after they had, gone through their first wave of soldiers, everybody went back to their forward operating base. But he was stuck there, and he stayed behind to help everybody that was wounded, and he lowered them down this vertical drop. He just slowly lowered everybody down with the rope that was there. And it turns out he rescued 75 people. And then the base kept going back and forth to take back to the hospital the people that he's dropped down, including some injured Japanese.
Yeah, well, and then when they get the Japanese back to the hospital, what are these guys doing here? So I'm not sure. They said they were going to do away with the bodies. I don't know what they
said they didn't make it or something like that.
Yeah.
So I don't know if they just killed him or what.
I guess you use your imagination on that one too.
But that kind of action rubbed off on the rest of his teammates, and they were actually open to prayer before going into the battle. Open to prayer before going into the battle the next day.
Yeah, so he was kind of he ended up being a chaplain as well for them. They wanted to stop and have prayer before the battle, which was really kind of a neat
yeah thing. And so his actions spoke pretty loudly, and the people that were against him in the beginning said, hey, you're one of the bravest men that I know. And
yeah, so it was a pretty impressive story.
And Kathy, he came back with a Medal of Honor.
Yeah.
It
was a good movie, so I would recommend watching it. I think it's a great patriotic movie.
Highly recommend.
To watch.
I would probably give it a 9. It's very rewatchable, cool movie.
Yeah, I would probably agree. A 9 is probably a good rating for this movie. You're gonna make everybody jealous on that screen, y'all. I'm sorry, but they are good. Okay, the next movie we actually watched last week and we forgot about it. A League of Their Own from 1992. So this is about a women's softball league. Baseball. Sorry, a women's baseball. Baseball. Sorry, a women's baseball league that started, and it only lasted a small amount of time, though, right? Like 1 year or something like that.
This was during a war, also. I forget which war it was, but I remember that one of the guys said, well, I guess this is it after this season, because really it was just kind of to help keep morale up during the war. And then and then I guess they were going to be done with it, but I can't remember what happened afterward. I think they continued it for a short period. I can't remember how long.
But as you know, there is no women's baseball league now. So clearly it didn't catch.
I mean, Madonna is in this. Rosie O'Donnell.
Mm-hmm. And I forgot Madonna was in it, and because I had seen it years ago. And when her face popped up, I go, "Whoa, there's Madonna!" And the girl from Monk.
Yeah, one of the assistants.
Yes, Sharona.
I
don't remember what her actual name is, though.
Yeah, I can't remember.
Let me see.
This cookie needs salt.
Yeah.
I don't think there was any salt in this recipe. Maybe I missed it. Salt is important.
Indeed.
Even if it only asks for a
Schramm.
Yeah, Biddy. That's right.
Biddy Schramm. What a name. But she was in it too. I thought it was good. the outfits they made them wear. They made them wear them for publicity, not for
functionality.
They had to wear dresses that were a certain length, and each team wore a different color. And when they first got out there, they were made fun of. The men thought, "There's no way." I mean, these women are.
And then what followed was one of their good throwers
knocked out
threw a baseball at him.
Knocked out the guy that was talking trash.
Pretty funny. That's what he gets.
So anyway, I thought it was good. I thought it was a cute story. I kind of wish that women's baseball would still be around. I think as far as having a league, I think honestly it would do well today to have a women's league.
I mean, I'm sure there would be a lot of girls that would play.
There's a lot of talented women out there, and I think that they should.
Softball is certainly a big deal. I think especially at the
why
college age level.
softball, not baseball? That's my question.
I don't know. Those things are still going really fast. Have you seen them throw those softballs?
Yeah, well, I used to play.
Almost throwing like baseballs. It's crazy.
So why not use a baseball?
I don't know. No idea.
If you know why, comment. Let us know. Why softball instead of baseball, ladies?
Yeah.
Why do we have to use a bigger ball? Why can't we use the standard ball? I don't know. I don't know the answer to that.
They didn't change the size of a soccer ball, did they, for women's soccer?
No.
Yeah, see?
There's no other ball that's a different size in any other sport.
Yeah.
So I don't understand why they feel women can't play with baseballs. So if you know, let us know. I would love to know. I don't know the history behind that. I don't know the reasoning behind that.
My baseball.
That's another movie for another time, my dear. Okay. So what would you rate A League of Their Own? I would probably give it, I don't know. I would give it an 8 to an 8.5.
Oh, okay.
I thought it was good.
I gave it a 7. Give it a 7.
Oh, that's so low.
It's okay.
Okay. All right. So that's A League of Their Own from 1992. The next one I watched during Craft Weekend. I don't know if you've seen it before and can weigh in on it, but The Bounty Hunter from 2010.
I haven't even heard of it.
It's with Jennifer Aniston and Gerard Butler.
Oh, it
was good. I like Gerard Butler and I like Jennifer Aniston, and they're really cute together, I think. So this was a story about a husband and wife, and he is a bounty hunter and she is a reporter. Well, they were married. They got, for a very short time, you find out in the movie. They were married, got divorced, were apart from each other, but then she got in trouble for something, had a court date, skipped her court date, so had what do they call it? Out for her. A warrant out for her. So he was sent to capture her and take her into the courthouse. Oh. He was offered $5,000 to do so. So of course, bounty hunters are in it for the money. So he went after her, and he actually thought it would be really fun, and he was super excited to go after her, catch her, and bring her in.
They were not married anymore.
No more. And they hadn't been for quite some time.
Oh, okay.
But it's clear through the movie they still have feelings for each other.
No way,
right?
They did. No way.
In a comedic way too.
Didn't see it coming.
They have their tuffles throughout the movie, but in the end, you see that they still have feelings for each other, and he did get her through all the hustle and bustle, and a whole lot went down, and they solved a different crime in the meantime, the two of them together.
Oh, nice.
And but he did end up taking her in at the end and getting his $5,000, and she had to actually go through with what she had to do. So
did they get married again?
I don't think they did. No, but they realized that they still had feelings for each other.
Oh, okay.
I don't remember a marriage at the end of it.
Yeah.
I was kind of sidetracked with crafting and other things going on, so I might have missed that, but I don't think so. I would think I would have seen that. But it was cute. I like the chemistry between Jennifer Aniston and Gerard Butler. I think they make a good pairing for a movie. So I thought it was well done. I thought it was a cute movie.
Gerard Butler's funny, especially in the comedies that he does, I think.
Yeah. Yeah.
The other one I can think of that we did a long time ago was The Ugly Truth. Yeah, with the
and
other
that
girl.
apparently is a fan favorite. That was the most views we had for a movie review in a really long time. So that was kind of fun to see that others liked that movie as much as we did.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe you guys will like this one too. So if you haven't watched it, The Bounty Hunter from 2010, I would recommend it. I think it's really good. I would probably give this one I don't know. I might give it an 8.5 for this one. I thought it was good. I definitely could see myself watching it again, and I think you'd enjoy it.
So was this one that did not fall under the patriotic category?
I mean, Justice, Bounty Hunter, crime.
We had a Justice Month.
I know. But America. So probably not a patriotic movie necessarily, but justice system.
Well, okay, I did watch this one movie that maybe there could be a tie, so I'll try to remember the title.
This week?
Yeah, a few nights ago.
Oh, he doesn't communicate. A few minutes ago.
No,
days ago.
A few nights ago. A few nights ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that was Bounty Hunter from 2010. The last one is The Red Notice from 2021. You seen that one?
No,
I watched that one the craft weekend also. So this one had Dwayne Johnson, Ryan Reynolds, and a few other big names in it. It's basically about these thieves, I guess, that thought they had things in common, thought they were going after the same thing, but they ended up working against each other. Ryan Reynolds' character thought that Dwayne Johnson was on his side and that they were helping each other, but Ryan Reynolds finds out that Dwayne was actually partnered with one of the police officers, I think she was, or some kind of security or something, that was actually working against him and trying to get him to solve and find this item, which happened to be this golden egg that they were looking for to complete this collection of eggs that they had, treasure eggs that they had collected over a course of time. So they were actually using Ryan Reynolds' character to get this. But what they didn't know is he is just as cunning. He was just as clever. And he actually flipped the script on them and said, you know, I've had your bank account frozen. All of your assets are gone unless you agree to work with me. So in the end, he ended up taking control of the whole situation and saying this needs to be a 3-way thief thing. We need to be 3 thieves together to complete these missions. Otherwise, you have no money because I know how to turn off your money. And everything's electronic now. So that's fairly easy to do if you're good at hacking or good at taking over electronic kind of.
It reminds me of all the Teslas that were driving on the highway in that one movie.
Oh, that was the dumbest movie.
I can't remember
what was the name of that. Yeah, it made a great impression. We hated that movie. My brother recommended it to us.
It had Dave Bautista in it.
Yeah, it was so. There was no great plot, and the ending was horrible. It gave you no closure, no ending to that one. But anyway, this one, Red Notice, was good. Good action-y kind of movie. Again, it doesn't fall under patriotic. It was
red. It's one of the flag colors.
Oh, there. Connection. Red Notice. So red in the flag, therefore patriotic. So we made it.
Yeah.
Did you remember the name of
I did, and I found it.
Hold on.
We can add it to our list.
Let me give the rating to Red Notice. I would probably for me, it wasn't really hugely attention catching. So even though it was entertaining, it was kind of a okay. All right. So I would probably give it, I don't know, 6.5 to a 7.
Oh, okay.
Would be my rating for that movie.
I'm not sure what I would give it.
Yeah. Okay. So what's the movie we're adding for you?
The Rental from 2019.
Is it a horror?
No, it's not.
Are you sure it looks like it?
Yeah, it
Tim
is.
Connolly and Emma
Yes.
Nass. Okay.
It,
It's all him, y'all. Let me eat my me want cookie.
patriotic in that they're searching for freedom in this getaway.
From evil spirits.
Freedom. Okay, it's two couples.
We're stretching, y'all. We're stretching.
They go find this rental online, and so they go to have just have a long weekend together. And what's the first bad thing that starts
I don't know.
happening?
You tell us.
Oh yeah, so the two guys, they're actually brothers. And then
Matilda.
one of the girls finds a mini security camera in one of the sprayers of the shower head in the bathroom.
Imagine that.
Yeah. Creeper. And then they find that this guy is stalking them. And so yeah, killer story.
Killer story.
It's not that great. The acting is mediocre.
Imagine that.
The masked assailant, you finally see him not unmasked, but you finally see him and he's going after them one by one pretty ruthlessly. I mean, this sounds like every other horror film.
Movie. Mm-hmm.
And the other conflict is that the reason that the girl spotted the camera was just kind of by chance. The two friends that are not together, so they swapped, and then so the other couple got, or the one guy got with the other girl overnight when the other ones were sleeping, and they were and so that was used to blackmail later on, and, that kind of conflict.
Sounds wholesome.
Yeah. I mean, it just it wasn't explicit with that. It was more explicit with the murder, I guess. I don't recommend it.
Wow, for him to not recommend a horror movie, it had to have been pretty terrible.
There's been much better movies.
So what would you rate this monstrosity?
Maybe a 4.
Oh, okay. Still higher than that one we watched that we gave a 1 or
the Frankenstein
-1.
one.
Yes.
Yeah, that's even worse. Yeah. There were no big names in this one. I actually like independent horror films better than mainstream horror films. I think this was more of a straight to video kind of
that
horror
good,
film.
huh? Okay.
Yeah. So anyway, The Rental, I give it a 4.
All right. So don't watch it.
Don't bother.
I won't.
It's patriotic.
Gladly.
They were seeking freedom.
Freedom. He's stretching. He has to stretch to get his horror movie in. But
well, since we were going,
right.
we were trying to find movies here that fit the category.
All right, we got to do better in our last week here. Our last week
summer.
of patriotic movies. So we would love to hear what you want us to watch. If it's free, bonus, and we'll probably watch it. If it's not free, it'll go on our list for future.
I think, like she said, it's been tough. It's hard to watch these kinds of movies because they tend to be pretty violent. So it's hard to watch them when everybody else is awake.
Yeah, and we haven't had a whole lot of nights free without the kids being summer, and everybody's schedules are wonky, and our oldest working late and things like that. So it's kind of it's tough for us to get in one that we, or if we start watching one, we have to stop it and then
and just continue it later.
And then it's paused for a while. Like Hacksaw Ridge, we had to stop it a couple times.
Yeah.
But all right, so that's what we had for you this week. So just kind of a review of what we reviewed. Rocky 4, Hacksaw Ridge, A League of Their Own, The Bounty Hunter, Red Notice, and The Rental. Most were recommendations. The last one was not.
And it ends up being a do not recommend.
All right. So that is our review for this week. Be sure to jump on Tuesday and check out what we review for that. And then Friday faves?
Maybe. We'll see.
Maybe. Okay. Yeah. I have plans to do a Friday faves.
Ooh.
Possibly.
Ooh.
But I'll need your help because I'm not good at pasting videos together.
No, just give me the content.
Okay. So maybe that one will be this Friday. Maybe it'll be next Friday. I'm not sure. But
Ooh, I'm excited.
And then next Sunday at 9:30, pop back on our live and be ready to chat with us. We want to get these chats back going. So tell your friends, have them pop on. Maybe if we can get consistently a good number of people jumping on our live, we can start doing some giveaways. So
and next week, bum ba-dum bum dun dun.
And goodbye. We are
okay, go ahead.
Okay. All right. So we'll see you next week. Bye.
End stream.
I might beat him when we're off air. Just
end stream.
Oh, stop it.
End. Yes.
I'm sorry, guys. He's ridiculous.